So at the time of posting this video, we will be 1 month away from week 0 college football. And before the season, I want to highlight another team. So last video I highlighted Purdue. This video I'm going to highlight Iowa State. They have a win total of 4.5. Obviously, Matt Campbell left and a bunch of guys left, and we'll get into just how much the roster turned over from year to year. But let's just highlight Iowa State as a program. During the Matt Campbell era, he was there for 10 seasons, had 8 winning seasons, and 2 non-winning seasons. And I think that's key to understand because Iowa State as a program is 564, 678, and 45. They are about 100 games under 500 as a program. And keep in mind, Matt Campbell had 8 years over 500. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of just how bad this program was before Matt Campbell got there. It's always been a really bad program. I mean, I'm just going to scroll through. You can look at some of these records. It's a lot of 3, 4 win seasons. And, 6 wins is a high mark for some of these guys. So the big question is Matt Campbell is now gone. How do you replace Matt Campbell? And their answer is Jimmy Rogers. Jimmy Rogers is such an interesting replacement because when I first heard they were going with him, I was definitely, very confused. He spent 1 year at the FBS level at Washington State where he went 6-6. And so real quick, let's look at that. In his first year at Washington State last year, he went 6-6 as a head coach. He did not coach in the bowl game. They had started the year with just a 3-point win over Idaho, a win over San Diego State by 23, and then a blowout loss to North Texas, a blowout loss to Washington. He came back, beat Colorado State, and had 2 really close losses to Ole Miss and Virginia. That's 2 good games by Washington State. He came back, beat Toledo, and this is where you thought maybe Washington State turns their year around, and then they lose at Oregon State. Oregon State last year was awful. They were terrible. I've never seen a special teams unit worse than the Oregon State special teams unit. How they lost this game after that 3 game stretch, I don't understand. They then beat Louisiana Tech, lost to JMU, and then beat Oregon State at the end of the year 32-8. So just looking at this, it's not something that screams, hey, this should be a Power 4 head coach resume. They're really trusting in what he did at the FCS level, which was 27-3 in 2 years, including the national title. He did that at South Dakota State. He started as a linebackers coach there, worked his way up to DC, and then eventually became the head coach there. He had really great moments at South Dakota State. They were one of the best programs while he was there for those 2 years. So they're really just banking on that success. But this is very dangerous. I mean, he had 1 year at the FBS level where he did all right, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. And this is the really scary part for Iowa State. This program had 55 players, according to 247, transfer out. I mean, at one point, I think about 6 months ago, they had like 16 players on the roster I saw. It was bad. They're bringing in 48 new players, um, which means it's going to be a completely no-look team. 15 of those are coming from Washington State. 20, uh, 23 group of 6 FCS or lower level transfers to Iowa State this year. It's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to translate to wins. Again, this is a win total of uh, 4.5, so it's going to be very, very interesting. And now, for a second, let's actually go look for a second. Let's look at this schedule and see just how it's going to, how Iowa State can fare this year. All right, so this is Iowa State's schedule this year. We're on FBS schedule, my favorite website for looking at schedules, and they open the year against Southeast Missouri Saturday, September 5th, and then they get their first real test at Iowa. That's a big rivalry game. They get that September 12th, and it's just from Bowling Green on, it's going to get very tough. They get Bowling Green obviously week 3, then they get Utah to open up the Big 12. They get West Virginia at home, then they get at BYU before a bye at Arizona, who's got their head coach, their quarterback coming back, and they should be a really good team. Oklahoma State, who's going to have Eric Morris and Drew Mestemaker there. At Baylor with DJ Lagway, Cincinnati, who they're all over the place as well. At UCF, who's also all over the place, and then Kansas State with their new head coach. That is their year. It's a very interesting schedule. There are some winnable games, but when you're talking about a win total that is 4.5, I really just don't see it. They would have to win 3 games against teams not named Bowling Green in Southeast Missouri, and I just don't see where they get it. BYU is going to be really good. Utah is going to be really good. I think Baylor's a sleeper team. Oklahoma State is a much improved team from last year with everything they're bringing in from North Texas. And really, when you look at Iowa State's roster, it just doesn't give you a lot of confidence. I'm not very trusting in Jimmy Rogers. I liked him at the FCS level, but I would have liked to see more at the FBS level before you go make him uh, in charge of your program. And Iowa State, they're at a crossroads here because, again, we look back at their history. They didn't have much of a history before Matt Campbell, and this was very much a crossroads, right? If somebody could come in and continue the success of Matt Campbell, you're talking about a program that could continue to be a respectable program. Yeah, they may not win a national title, but they'll consistently be a 7, 8, 9 win team, and in the 12-team playoff era, maybe even make a playoff or two here and there. Or a bad hire here and they could go back to the program they were. A program where, let's be real, it would be a shocker if they even made a bowl game. And it's going to be very interesting throughout the year to see how they can try to win some of these games, put some confidence in the program, and build. And Jimmy Rogers has his job cut out for him at Iowa State this year. That's all I got. Let me know if there's any other teams I should go over because I got about a month and I want to keep going over teams before the season starts. So thanks for watching.